What is the deal, y'all? Y'all know what it is, man. No moral victories, man. Welcome back or welcome for the first time. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, man. Today, we are reacting to these corrupt prison guards telling us about the crimes they committed while they was while they was doing their job. You heard me? So let's get right into it, man.
I remember opening the door one night, and he's got his light on at the back. There's just blood everywhere, and he's sat at the back of the cell just going like that, and it's just going everywhere. And I'm thinking, and obviously because you're on nights, the instant thing there would be probably to open the door, go in, but because you're on nights, you can't.
Allowed to.
You have to wait for an officer in charge. So I'm pretty much just watching this guy cut himself to ribbons.
Damn, you just watching him?
Growing up, I would say that I was around a lot of criminal activity,
These are corrupt guards. Remember that, man. Corrupt.
a lot. So it was literally a situation of how can I come away from that? And that was literally by joining a government kind of job.
Okay.
I think I was about 21, 22. I was quite young.
He's pretty young.
Different from you, I never had any intention of going into the prison service. I literally fell into it as I was waiting for. I was actually a part-time fireman at the same time.
Oh, sick.
So that was the career that I was wanting.
Yeah.
However, my girlfriend's mum at the time was a prison officer.
These are London prison guards. London prison guards.
Want to do it, if I'm honest, but I just thought, you know what, it's a career with, at the time, a decent salary, although it's not as good now. So that was my train of thought, that it was a backup plan. Strangely enough, letters just kept coming through the door, and I was in there within, I'd say, 2 or 3 months. I think now you could probably just walk in the door.
Probably, yeah.
It's that corrupt in there. It's that easy to be a CEO these days? First prison.
I worked at HMP Wandsworth. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a men's jail. I think I had about 1,500 something inmates there. I was around loads of different inmates, from people that probably didn't pay their TV license, to murderers, to everything, you name it.
All spectrum.
Yeah, literally.
What category was that?
It was, so originally it was meant to be a B,
Category
but they had a
B.
section within the jail that they said was a C.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but it was basically a
Category C.
I worked at Lancaster Farms, which probably around about 1,200 lads. I mean, 21-year-old lads, we all know what they're like. It was just absolutely bonkers. Mayhem. Even before you've had a cup of tea in the morning, you're rolling around on the floor with 6 or 7 alarms. Yeah. And you're just thinking, Jesus Christ, I've just got up. For someone who's not worked in a prison or been to prison, you can't fully explain the environment and how kind of hostile it is. But that's the job that you join, isn't it? You have to get used to it quite quickly.
Yeah.
You signed up for the job.
I think when you open them gates the first time and go on for that win, and there's 80 lads, 21-year-old, going absolutely nuts.
The sound and the echoing, the
shouting. Yeah.
And if it's your first time,
you
got, like you said, put on this brave face. I remember the first time I walked onto the landing, and I had everyone whistling, shouting at me, and the landings. I don't know if did you have
just twos?
So we had 4s.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder what her experience was like as a female, for sure, in the prison, man. I wonder what that's like, man. Come on. I need them to get into it, man. Come on. Like up and subscribe and comment, man. I need y'all to subscribe right now, man.
Wait up, and I just remember walking on, and all the guys were looking over at me, and I'm having to do that like a catwalk. I'm having to literally walk down the landing, hearing the whistling. I missed this, that. Oh my God, look, this, that, and I just had to put on this brave face. There was one point when I first started, I was like, I can't do this. Yeah. This is too much, and not just because of the inmates. It was obviously the staff. It was just everything. It was so.
Let's get to the corrupt shit, man.
Training. I was just like, no, I don't think I can do this. Like, looking back now, I actually don't know how.
No.
I even got through the time that I did get through.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to go on when I initially joined, thinking, what the hell have I done here?
I like the prisoners. I won't lie. I actually got along with some of them. Some of them are like, they were such decent human beings.
I thought she was about to say she still talked to the prisoners and everything.
And it's like, how did you even wind up here, kind of thing. Obviously it was a respect thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? You help me out, I help you out, kind of thing. You listen to what I have to say, I listen to what you have to say. If you need anything, and if I can.
And so it begins. Finesse your way into that. Finesse your way to the crimes, man.
Then we can.
I think there's a certain amount of that just being a general prison officer. Because if you look at the numbers game, 3 officers on a wing, there might be me, There might be someone who's 50 odd, an older girl who's maybe up for retirement. There might be one man, and there's 80 prisoners. If you do not create relationships, or like you say, put positive into there, you could be wrapped up within minutes. You could have all sorts done to you. I mean, I know one of the officers that I used to work with was locked in a cupboard and held hostage. Very simple to do.
And they've got nothing to lose.
It's a numbers game. And even when the alarm bell goes, because of staff shortages, you'd be lucky now if 3 or 4 come running through a gate. And if you've got a wing of 80 people going at it,
it's still not, the numbers still don't add up. They're still outnumbered by that.
Yeah.
Bianca, do you think you were treated differently as a female in a prison?
She got her
prisoners?
neck pierced too? Damn.
Yes and no. I feel like being a female.
Hold on.
Female prisoners?
She got the double tongue and she got the neck. Double tongue and the neck. Shout out to her.
Yes and no. I feel like being a female, I feel like I could talk to them a lot better. Like with a guy, like even now security, with a guy and a guy, sometimes it's a bit like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're locking me up, like, but don't that to me kind of thing on that way. Whereas I was a female, it was more like come on, like, you know, I can kind of calm them down.
Do you think that the job was affecting your mental health in any way?
Come on, man. We know the answer is yes.
What about you?
Massive.
Yeah, I feel like.
Come on, you damn near. They damn near
at
in
one
jail
point,
too
I think I
for
become depressed.
Some hours they working.
Not the job itself, because we have obviously a lot to do with like people cutting themselves and like all of that. Now I don't mind blood, if I'm honest with you. But when in that scenario, like people are like screaming and they're crying that they need to see this family member or that person or this, and there's only so much we can actually do. Like we want to do, obviously we're good people, we want to do more for them, but we can't because of the situation that they're in. But I feel like my mental state at one point was a bit up and down, and there was no one to
speak
talk
on
to.
it.
And if you've actually worked in a jail, no one will understand. Like they say, go home and talk to your family. You could go home and say, oh, by the way, mum, I just saw someone try to hang themselves today. Yeah. And like, oh, so no, that's a bit, but they don't actually understand.
No, they've not seen it.
The pictures, like it's a repeat in your head, or having nightmares, and that's something you can't. Once you've seen something,
well, it's a version of PTSD, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't obviously unsee it, and then it becomes normal to you.
Although I started to go home and I'd become more of a recluse, quite a social person. But after a day, kind of like an 8 shift or a 12-hour shift, same as you. I remember on a night shift, walking around doing the pegging, which is like checking the cells every hour to make sure everyone's all right, to make sure everyone's not hanged themselves, whatever. I remember opening the door one night, the flap on the door, and do you know when you kind of think, I'm not just seeing that? And he's got his light on at the back, there's just blood everywhere, and he's sat at the back of the cell just going like that, and it's just going everywhere, and I'm thinking, and obviously because you're on nights, you know, the instant thing there would be probably to open the door, go in, but because you're on nights, you can't. You have to wait for an officer in charge, Oscar 1, to come. So I'm pretty much just watching this guy cut himself to ribbons. And it didn't affect me at the time because you just get on. Like,
that's wild. Hey, like up, subscribe, tell a friend right now for me, man.
I've been in the fire brigade, so I've seen a whole array of things. But I think about it probably more now or when I finished. And same with the shift, I'd go home and I'd act all day long, and I'd go home and I just wouldn't want to speak to anyone. As the time went on in there, I started to go under a little bit more, started to drink a lot more.
Damn.
I'd go home at night, I'd put a bath on, bottle of red wine, after the red wine would be done before I even get in the bath.
Yeah.
But
you don't realise it at the time.
That boy taking that work home, boy. Leave that work at the front door, man.
I think that was, looking back on it, it was a stress reliever. It was to get to sleep. Ready for the next one. Yeah.
When things went wrong.
There's one prisoner that I was very cool with. The rapport that I had with the prisoner, I felt like...
There's one prisoner I was cool with. Let's see how cool you was, man.
It was normal again. Like I was actually able to talk about normal life inside of jail.
You trust him?
Yeah. I actually did trust the prisoner.
Did you ever think that he was doing it to
manipulate?
Yeah. Did you ever get that?
That's all it is. Manipulating, finesse, man. I'm trying to get what I want. I don't give a damn. It's just a job for you. I'm in here for years, months, whatever.
No, never got. Do you know? And the funny thing is, that person was known for manipulating.
Playing the mind
I don't
games.
know if I was young. I don't know what it was. Built the rapport over months that way. Literally, that was my turning point, and then I became too close, I would say, to that inmate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I literally came too close to that inmate.
Too
That's when like
close.
phone calls started happening with the person.
Hold on, what?
She came too close to that inmate. That's when like phone calls started happening with the person, and then I
Phone
just felt
calls
I
started
honestly didn't feel like I was working in the jail.
Phone calls as in what, you with him?
Yeah,
So what, I presume he had a mobile in jail, did he?
yeah. So whether it was his or the person's
Yeah.
or however he got
They
it, he
was
got it.
talking
And
on
then
the
I
phone
just,
when you
one
was
thing
at
led
home.
to another.
Hold on.
Him.
Yeah.
Hold on. Was they talking when she was at home? She would be calling him while he was still in. Going home and calling a prisoner is wild.
I honestly didn't feel like I was working in the jail.
Phone calls as in what, you with him?
Yeah.
So what, I presume he had a mobile in jail, did he?
Yeah. So whether it was his or the person's
Yeah.
or however he got it. And then I just, one thing led to
However
another.
he got it.
Obviously, we was friends. Didn't do nothing inside jail or anything like that. But it was more like
Yeah, okay.
I confided in him.
How long was he serving?
How long was he serving? Like 7 years. So
Right.
the half.
I was trying to get my head around. Are you thinking, right, he's got a year to do?
So he had about two. He had about 2.5 left. So when one thing obviously led to another,
Ooh,
by then
when he get out, ooh, that's gonna be my boyfriend when he get out. Look at her, man. She getting finessed.
like I didn't even
She
realize.
getting
Oh my gosh,
finessed,
was he manipulating me
all
this
that.
whole time? And then afterwards, obviously, when I did get arrested and everything,
Let me tell her what she want to hear.
Allegedly, I was bringing in. They said I was bringing in phones, I was bringing in drugs, I was bringing in this. But it wasn't any of that. I literally stepped into the jail and I had like fat strips. So it was class C. So what I got charged for was anabolic steroids, class C.
Okay.
So it was like fat strippers to lose weight, to put in the gym.
Yeah, gym stuff.
That kind of stuff. So they tried to link it to him, but obviously there was no link because I didn't pass anything over. I didn't. And obviously when I stepped in, I didn't hide it.
She's still pleading her case, man. You did it.
I'm saying I didn't.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, because I'll get onto that in a minute.
Yeah, I didn't need to like hide it, like, oh my god, I'm smuggling in stuff or anything. Like, I literally just had it in my jacket.
Do you mind quickly telling us what were the things you've done, like what you smuggled?
Thank you, man.
Right, okay, so
good girl,
initially,
good dude, man.
It was mobile phones into prison with a fairly large gang. It then became with a fairly large gang. It then became, I mean, the packages were given to me. I didn't have anything to do with what was in the packaging. I was given a package. I was basically a transporter, you know, for want of a better word. Now, the first couple of packages, I believed it was a mobile phone. And after maybe 2 or 3,
we had drugs.
I mean, I'm not daft. I can smell cannabis. I can smell, you know, it's fairly obvious what's going on. And then it became more than just mobile phones.
I hate when people try to play dumb, man. You know what's going on. You part of it. Stop playing dumb, man. Like up and comment right now. Subscribe.
Cannabis, steroids, stuff like that. Even watches sometimes. I know it sounds really ridiculous. You know, it becomes stupid. I'd lost all kind of. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'd lost all reality at that point.
You don't feel like you're in jail.
No, I was losing. Weird. Yeah, even in my own personal life, I'd lost the grip. Yeah. So that was just an extension of that. Yeah. So, you know, if you'd have asked me to bring you a packet of polos in, I probably would, because I didn't. My head was gone. Yeah, yeah. So, I can appreciate that. In my mind, mentally, I qualified it in the sense of I worked there, say, 3-4 years. Okay. I reckon I was searched properly. I mean, I'm not, you know, obviously you get your pat down search. I reckon I was searched properly twice.
What is?
I mean, I'm not.
You say he was getting searched, but
I reckon I was searched.
What's the difference?
Properly. I mean, I'm not, you know, obviously you get your pat down search. I reckon I was searched properly twice in that time. So when I was doing what I was doing, the mentality was, I'm not going to get searched. I mean, although I hid the packages and whatnot. Okay. We don't need to go into detail about that, but
why not? Come on, bro. That's what we're here for.
I don't think there was a big risk of me getting to go into detail.
Why are you not getting into detail about this?
Although I hid the packages and whatnot. Okay. We don't need to go into detail about that, but I don't think there was a big risk of me getting caught that way. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Red-handed, which is backs up what
Maybe-
you're saying about just walking through with it in
Because
your
I never
pocket.
got searched the whole time I was there.
Damn.
Never, ever
Hey,
got
man.
searched.
So
My
it ain't
scenario
as hard
was
as it looked, man, to
I had
smuggle
been
something
sat
in
in the
there
garden.
through the,
I mean, I'd
through
been
the
doing
guards.
this now for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was sat in the garden, opened up that newspaper. Middle page spread, drugs are prevalent in UK jails, and it's got a picture of Lancaster Castle and one of the lads who I'm involved with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Coming
So
for
I'm
that
now
ass.
thinking, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on holiday at that point, due to go in on an early shift on, say, the Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I still had 2 packages at my house,
Ooh.
and my mentality then was, right, the game's up, finito,
Mm.
everybody's onto you.
Yeah. Let's see if he delivered them 2 packages, man. I probably would have gave it up by then. We in the newspapers and all that, I would have gave it up. Let's see what he did.
Walked into the jail, went past the 2 doors where you see the signs, if you bring anything past this point, you will serve up to 10 years in jail. Walked into the jail, nothing untoward, there was no cars around, there was only 4 people in the jail at that point, or so I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Plotting on
Walked
his
through the
ass.
security gates, like I said, the door opened, and it was the PO on my wing. So he said, much the same as you, can I have a word a minute? I said, yeah, no problem. Walked into the room, which is like a little room off the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
I had my little bag with me, sandwiches in. And he said, and it was a man who I really liked. I used to play football with him at dinner time. I had a lot of respect for him. And he said, I need to ask you a question. I said, right, okay. Now, I'm thinking he's going to ask me something about the wing.
Mm.
And he said, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have?
Uh-oh.
And I said, no. He said, I'm going to ask you again, have you got anything on you shouldn't have? I said, no.
Hey, when they ask you like that again, that means they already know the answer, man. They already know the answer. But me, I'm going to still lie. You got to really prove it, man.
He said, right, okay, you're going to have to come upstairs with me. There's a Northwest area search team waiting for you.
Ooh.
I was like, oh God, here we go. And I knew the game was up then.
Mm.
So I walked up the stairs, there was 2 dogs,
Does he have the
a couple of
packages?
handlers, 3 or 4 different officers. There was a governor there, and I just thought, right, it's over.
When you guys got caught, how did it feel?
No. When I got caught, when I first stepped in and then I realised they were doing the searches, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I think I even remember trying to put like one of the packages behind the heater, like just like get it away from me kind of thing. And after I was just like, my life's over. That's all I remember saying, like, oh my gosh, Bianca.
It's over.
I've never been in handcuffs. I've never been in trouble like that. I never even got detention in school. Sitting in handcuffs, and I just remember sitting there like,
The whole world falls apart.
they put me in a cell, and it's like it jumped from having that rapport with a prisoner to now I'm sitting in a cell with 4 walls.
Still full screw kit on.
Still had my kit. I remember going to the police station, and then I remember someone was like, "Bro, why is she here? Like, ain't she meant to be one of you lot?" Before I had got out of the cell the next
She
day,
went to jail in
it went
full
round to all the
uniform.
jails. Literally, like
Yeah.
going to the police station, and then I remember someone was like, "Bro, why is she here? Like, ain't she meant to be one of you lot?" Before I had got out of the cell the next day, it went round to all the jails. Literally, like
This
like
dirty
it got round to all the
guards.
jails. Everyone knew.
She
Before I
betrayed
could even
us.
say anything. That's when I finally got it around my head. Okay, I'm going to jail.
So what, in your mind, what do you think you would end up doing? Realistically, if you was.
Probably about 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
Around about them times. Like, yeah, because if she's saying to me, we're going to look at 4 or 5 years, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my life's over. Like, when you hit 5, that's a long time. Though it's do half, it's still a long time.
More than 1 day in jail is too much, man. 1 day in jail is too much, man. Don't do it, y'all.
They've never been in trouble.
Don't do it.
So then
and it's a license period. I found the license period afterwards.
Worse, isn't it? Was it worse?
Mine was 7 years. That's after license. So 4 years jail, 7 years license.
That's a lot.
11 years of your life.
That you're under someone else's like control, basically, and not even having to like do anything about it. So I just want to get it over and done with now.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that I had to wait a year just for them to make a decision.
Bianca, can you explain why
That's
you ended up
tough.
not going to prison? What was the whole thing with the?
Hold on.
Bianca,
She didn't go to
can you
jail?
explain why you ended up not going to prison? What was the whole thing with the?
She told on somebody.
I didn't go to jail because of.
I ain't gonna put
they
that
got
on
the character references.
Yep.
Like for court and everything. Obviously, they said to me, my solicitor said to me, like, she was honest, I won't lie, and I'm happy that I had her. She's like, it looks about 4 or 5 years. They're gonna make an example out of you. Yeah, and I was just like, what, for class C? Like, I was proper, like, adamant. Like, I went not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. I was like, nope, I didn't hand over nothing. You've got no evidence. Like, I was so like,
make
no,
them prove
like,
it.
I'm not having it. I just couldn't get my head around that I should be
Make
going to
them
jail,
prove
especially when I
it.
wasn't in it for financial gain.
Yeah. Joking aside, I think because, I mean, this is what got me through the actual jail period, I think. Like I said, for 2 years, I saw lads crumble in there, you know, hard men, big men, experienced men. I saw them crumble. For me, for 2 years, I didn't, not once. I'd become a robot. But I think because we've worked in a jail, I already had the routine in my mind, and I already knew what might happen. I already knew what the system was. I already knew that.
Right, you already know. It's just another day at work,
maybe. Do you think that helped?
I think it did.
You just can't go home.
I mean, I didn't think it at the time because my head was mashed. Then on bail, I was crying like a baby. Like I said, behind closed doors. After a couple of wines, I'd be crying like a baby, thinking, "What have I done? What have I done to my family? What have I done to my life? What have I done to my mates?"
Ooh, that's tough, man. That's tough.
But I didn't kind of show it.
Like up, comment, subscribe for me right now.
Click.
I think that's probably because you worked in jail and you put on that brave face that you used to do with
jail
the inmates.
Jail.
Yeah.
You probably did it again after the situation, probably with your family and friends and everything.
But the jail time, I was exactly the same. No emotion, no nothing. After jail, different kettle of fish. It all just went.
Probably because you held it in for so long as well. Whereas I think I've mentally prepared. I used to go to church. I remember going to church every single Sunday with the person that was in jail's family, even.
Okay.
Yeah, every Sunday, and they kind of helped me through.
What?
And they just said, "No, just give it to me," even. Yeah.
She went to jail. She went to church with the person's family that she was always calling. She went to church with the prisoner's family. Okay. That's wild.
The person that was in jail's family, even.
Okay.
Yeah, every Sunday they kind of helped me
right
through.
Now. Gotta be.
And they just said, "No, just give it to God. Like things happen for a reason. There's a reason as to why you're going." And only till like I think 2 weeks before my court case, I kind of said, "You know what? Accept it, Bianca."
She was all in. Life.
So the person that I was talking to, he's actually my son's dad now. So yeah, we had a full-on relationship.
I knew it. They locked in still. She had a plan. Got finessed to having a kid by him.
So the person that I was talking to, he's actually my son's dad now. So yeah, we had a full-on relationship outside, lived together. So it wasn't manipulation, is what you said. It was that.
She got manipulated into a relationship. She thinks she didn't though.
The person that I was talking to, he's actually my son's dad now. So yeah, we had a full-on relationship outside, lived together. So it wasn't manipulation, is what you said.
Yeah, it was.
It was actually got into a relationship.
She thought she wasn't manipulated. Still.
Now obviously I picked up the security. Obviously I do my own. So after the whole getting arrested, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, you think your life's over, kind of thing. So I literally started my own security business. Called P1 Protection. So it's literally giving everyone a chance because obviously when you get a criminal record as well. It's hard to get jobs and everything. Obviously, you got to have a full-on SIA license and everything. But I cater for females that have security work, guys.
Female security work. Hey, man, if you in the UK, you want to do female security work, holler at her, man.
And I literally just turned my life around. I didn't let that hinder me because, like you said, the license thing. It's like you're under this like spell, like you can't do nothing, you can't go nowhere. Any job you apply for now is literally CRB check. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot in this tab.
Hey yo, son, your mama's the bitch that brought me my phone, my weed, my steroids while I was locked up, man. She held me down for 3 years while I was in there, man. She put her job on the line for me, man.
Had this and everything, so. No. And even after that, they contacted me to come back to the jail because they needed staff for the pandemic. So
really,
yeah.
Wow.
So it's just like you fighting, you want to get rid of me. You want me to go to jail. Now that you see I'm doing, got my own business and everything with security, and then now you offer me to come back to the jail that you tried to send me to. No.
Could you imagine that? I mean, I know boys and girls that have been in there, and you'll know officers the same. And I'm the same as you. I look back now and think I could have been in that job for the next 20, 30 years. And I wonder what kind of mess it would have made of me. I mean, you look at the mess it made of me in 3 or 4 years.
The mental state, you might not have been able to function properly. There's so much different things.
Damn, she didn't go to jail.
It could have impacted you. So
well, there is that stat about the prison officers about when they leave the job, if they've done a certain amount of stretch and working there,
Did they
within the
catch
first
him
2
in the
years
act or
was
something on
really
camera?
stupidly high, like
How'd that go?
60% of people over a
They didn't
certain
say
age end
that.
up
They
dead.
just said he got
Yeah.
Because
called
of
up.
because of their
They're
daily life is
mental.
that fast paced.
Yeah.
When they retire, they're sat at home watching Homes Under the Hammer, and it's something. Honestly, the statistics are
It's
unreal.
crazy.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I want to ask her one last question. Looking
Ask
back
it.
at everything you've been through, how
Ask
do you
it.
feel about it? Do you regret anything?
Let's see
Do
what
I
she
regret
say.
anything?
She
Looking
got a
back
baby
now,
father
I
out
actually
of that
don't.
situation.
And I
Look at
feel
her.
like
He
that
ain't go to
made me
jail,
where I
that's
am
why.
today. If I didn't go through what, and I feel like that made me where I am today. If I didn't go through what I went through and to see the turnover, obviously with my little one, my business, I don't think
I think his answer gonna be way different than hers.
pushed myself so hard. I just got myself back up. And I feel like if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't have this story today. I wouldn't be able to teach people what I went through for them to not go through. Because I know there's so many officers still out there that's probably feeling the same thing and they ain't got
Man,
no
that
one to
shit's
talk to
still
about
going
it.
on to
But
this
I
day.
feel like for myself, it's made me a stronger person today.
Yeah.
So I don't regret anything.
I feel like I'm a better human. I do regret. Obviously, I regret what I did because it could have put people in jeopardy. I regret what it did to my mum and dad. I regret putting myself afterwards, put
They
myself
got
through a
two
lot of
different
pain.
answers. I knew
That's
that
probably
one.
the biggest regret because now I look back and I think it was just an experience. Yeah, you did wrong.
Yeah, you didn't.
And I'm happier now than what I was then. I would say to any young men,
Shit, she was getting it in. You feel me? Hitting prisoners and all that. He feel me? He didn't get to get no female prisoners while he was in there, or did he?
for a new officer, if
She
you're
really
involved in that kind of thing, you need to understand. I had a chance to get out. I could have handed my keys in. You know, the day before I got caught, if I'd have handed my keys in, I wouldn't be sat here saying the same thing. So if you're doing what you're doing, or you feel like you're going to do what you're going to do, you need to make your mind up whether you want to stay in that job or just leave it, because there are other jobs out there. There are other opportunities. Don't feel trapped in it.
Hey man, how y'all feel about that? I'm kind of I don't know. They live two different lives. The female and that male prison guard. She clearly was getting manipulated and then still don't even know. Still don't know. She was getting it in with the prisoner, man, for like 2.5 years, as she said. Then had a baby by him when he got out. Damn, bro. She really did that. He really went through it, jail and all. So damn, hold on. What's up with the what's it called? The sexism, man. The male gotta go through all the prison and shit. The female get out scotch free? Come on, dog. Nothing happened to her. My boy did 2.5 years for that, man. She say she ain't bring nothing. She still, I guess, man. Hey, shout out to her though. Made the system prove that she did what she did. And when they did their research, she didn't do what she did. So I can't be mad at her. I salute to her, man. Shout out to you, man. Hey, man, let me know what y'all think though, man. Did she hold it down? Did he hold it down? Who, feel me? Not whose side you on, but she got off scotch free, manipulated, all that. He got manipulated as well, man. Boom, 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 boom. Comment right now, subscribe. Let me know all that. Let me know what you think about this video, man. Holla at your boy.